So here we are at BAMMA 17, the Victoria Warehouse. Frank, what an atmosphere for the two big men here. It's a packed arena and they can't wait.
It's been sold out, completely full since the very first prelim card, and the crowd's just getting rowdier and louder and more vocal every single time someone steps into the cage. This next one is going to be huge, not only by weight, but also by crowd participation. Everybody wants to see this fight happen.
Oh yes, two big men here. And so, making his way to the BAMMA cage, Brett McDermott, the Spartan, 4-1, 36 years of age. His only loss, funnily enough, Frank, was his debut here at BAMMA 12. Rear naked choking round 2 to Tom Denham. Since then, he's been on a 3-fight winning streak. And that's a real man beard.
I'm very envious of that beard, to be honest with you. I can't grow one that thick yet. I'm still trying. It's still a lot of questions when it comes to Brett McDermott. The first time he was really tested was his first fight, and he lost it. Since then, he really hasn't been tested. But since his first loss, his first fight, he has spent a ton of time and rededicated himself to training. I think he thought he could get away with, because I'm a bigger guy, I have a little bit of a physique, I can kind of get away with some impractical techniques. Now, he's got all his techniques put together, he's got all his stuff, handled. He's been spending more time training, but there's still a lot of questions. What happens when he gets in the heat of real action, which you're going to see tonight with Oli Thompson?
Well, there's a key point in his video interview where he looked up and said, I'm always willing to learn, I'm still learning, I still want to learn. That's important at this phase in his career.
Especially after only 5 fights, there's so much more to learn about what goes on inside that cage. How the ref reacts to you, how the judges react to you, but then also, how do you personally do when the pressure's on, the heat comes at you? It's easy to win fights when there's no pressure, but how do you do when the pressure's on, and what are you going to do? I'm very interested to see how much he's improved and how much he's grown since the last time we saw him fight, simply because Oli Thompson's that type of fighter who's going to put a lot of heat on.
So Brett McDermott, a huge applause, enters the BAMMA cage here at the Victoria Warehouse. And listen to that crowd for the big man. So, making his way to the cage now, Oli Thompson from ZT Fight School, 34 years of age, 12 wins, 7 losses. Very experienced compared to his opponent, but tellingly, Frank, his last 2 have been defeats. One here at BAMMA, you interviewed him after, and the latest to the Mariusz Pudzianowski, obviously the former world's strongest man.
It just didn't seem like he was in the fight. He never seemed like he was actually all the way in there and kind of had his mindset around him. I think getting his weight down and trying to get down to 205 is really going to help him. It's going to force him to train harder and also make him a more average-sized person. He's just too small to be up there at the heavyweight division. That was part of his biggest detriment, is that the techniques that he used, you have to be a bigger guy, a stronger guy. He just couldn't do it because the guys were overmatching him and overpowering him. Now his style will really be a lot more effective at 205.
And again, vast experience difference between the two men in real terms.
I mean, not only record, but look at quality of competition. Oli has faced some of the best guys out there in the weight classes, both in the heavier division. And then it goes a long way. Having that experience of seeing what the better guys do helps you learn throughout the entire process.
Well, Oli Thompson is in the cage. 2 big men at light heavyweight here. And if we look at the tail of the tape here, McDermott, the Spartan, the older by 2 years. He's the shorter by a good 3 inches. And the record, they speak for themselves. Vastly more experienced Thompson. Will that tell on the night here at BAMMA 17?
Victoria Warehouse, Manchester, England. We go live across the world for this 3 5-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. BAMMA 17, sponsored by Lonsdale with Lonsdale, London. Introducing first, Fighting out of the blue corner, a grappling specialist. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in at 203.8 pounds. A record of 4 wins, 1 loss, and 0 draws from Barrow MMA in Barrow Inverness, Brett the Spartan McDemott. And his opponent, fighting across the ring in the red corner, an MMA specialist. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighed in at 204.6 pounds. A record of 12 wins, 6 losses, and 0 draws, with 6 by way of submission, representing first generation from Eastbourne, Oli the Spartan Thompson. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Mark Woodard.
So here we go, Frank. 2 big men in this cage. Brett McDermott and Oli Thompson. First time at light heavy for Oli Thompson against the less experienced McDermott, but as I said, since his opening defeat, it's been all wins.
McDermott seems to be in better shape than the last time we saw him out, at least physique-wise. Now, I don't know if that's going to translate into cardiovascular-wise, because he seemed to fade a little bit at the end of his last fight.
Listen to the crowd, though, Frank. We're right at the cage side, and the crowd is roaring these two on, and it's McDermott trying to take the initiative and push Thompson back.
Well, that's why I love the Victoria Warehouse. It's such an intimate place to have a fight, and everybody can be heard inside the cage as well. So the fighters actually, usually I say the fighters can't hear anything. In here, the fighters can hear everything the crowd is saying.
Now, do you read much into the fact that Thompson is the first to tie up after that punch exchange?
I mean, I want to say it's because he got tagged a little bit and got leaned into it, but Ali didn't seem like he didn't react to any of the punches like, oh, I got stung, now let me jump in. It was almost his mindset from the very beginning was to tie him up, tie McDermott up, and slow him down. He kind of felt like his speed and his power was a little bit much. But remember, this is his style because he's always dealing with guys who are so much bigger than him. So like now, as I said earlier, that now at this weight class, it's so much easier for his style to work effectively.
Well, McDermott just tried a big knee there, very flexible for the big man. And
they caught him.
I think he's cut, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oli Thompson's cut from that knee. Yes, right above our position, the knee came in, cut Oli Thompson's face early in this round. And a short little right hook. Thompson finally flips him, but back to his feet. Oh, and the right hand as he came back to his feet. It was from a Thompson flip, Frank. He came back to his feet, and bingo, the right hand was immediate.
I cannot believe the strength, speed, and accuracy that Brett McDermott possesses. I said earlier, he spent some time training. He really wanted to rededicate himself to find different ways, and you said he loves to learn, he's always learning. That hand game of his has vastly improved to hit a guy like Oli Thompson, not only with the accuracy to put him down, but to hit him with the power to knock him out smooth.
And let's be honest, it was after Thompson really disorientated him. Big throw, he snaps back up, immediately gets his mind back, and bang, the big right hand.
What a great job. I mean, really vastly improved. You see this roll, he turns around, smacks him right away, hits him right on the temple, and puts him down. Ali had no way of recovering from that one.
He lands on his head, Frank.
He comes right up and lands face first. He gets bounced right off his head. The doctor's in there with him right now. He's back up on his feet, so he's fine. But yeah, what an amazing drop. Great power and position. Defense is key when you're dealing with anybody over 185 pounds. Because
I've got to be honest, Frank, I felt this was maybe a step too early for him, too quickly. But wow, has he proved us wrong.
Yeah, I thought there was I really did believe, you know, and I was going to get into it during the actual fight if it went any longer, that Brent kind of stepped up a little bit. He kind of took a bigger challenge than what he's capable of. And boy, was I wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Wow, what a finish by the Spartan, Brent McDermott.
This bout ended in 1 minute 43 seconds off the first round. Your winner by TKO in the blue corner, Brett the Spartan McDemott.
All right, I got to apologize because I said from the commentary position that Oli Thompson was a little bit too big of a step up for you to fight tonight, that you've been improving, but not quite that much. Boy, was I wrong. And I need to say publicly, I'm sorry. You completely made me stop talking from the booth after he threw you over on your back, you rolled up and you hit him with that right hand. Obviously, being thrown like that was not part of the game plan, but how important was you getting up in the wrestling and making sure your wrestling was on point for this fight?
Yes, I worked a lot on getting back to my feet regarding the Oli fight because he's such a strong boy. So I thought I could do him in the stand-up. I was hoping to make it out the first round, to be honest, so my cardio would carry on, bring me through, but the knockout came and I took it.
You talked about in the opener how you're always learning, you always want to learn, that you thrive to learn all the time. What's the biggest thing for you that you're trying to figure out right now? Is it the stand-up game, you're trying to spend more time on wrestling, or the more time on grappling?
I've only been at this game, say, 3 years. I'm just trying to improve all the time. I've got the heart, I've got the dedication, and I just want to get better.
I don't know, there's a lot of noise on my back shoulder. Is it literally the entire township came here just to support you tonight?
We're literally 100 strong tonight from Barrow-in-Furness. It's a 2-hour drive. All these boys have given up their hard-earned cash and ladies to come and support me tonight, and I love you loads. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a star, Brent McDermott.